I want to know, what's romance like on set?
Sometimes, not gonna name names.
What is that?
Red flag. If you're always are in beef with one of your friends. That's such a red flag,
everybody.
And
Welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Rachel, where it gets hot, spicy, and to the drama. Breaking the Ice has been doing so well, guys. Have you guys checked the numbers recently?
Last I checked, I know it hit over 200 million, but I haven't checked recently. Have you been looking?
yeah, I check quite often. 230 million.
How did that change your life after receiving over 230 million views on a show? I would say that it had some impact on your personal life.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely opened up a lot of doors professionally in this industry. Like, I've now getting, looked at in auditions for, big Netflix, Hulu series. Like, casting directors have definitely taken notice for that, which is awesome. On top of like the different, brands that have reached out for collaborations. Also, it's opened up those avenues as well.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't stopped working since Breaking the Ice.
Yeah.
I think I've worked, I don't know the last time I had more than a few days off of work, which has been the biggest blessing in the world.
You said people recognize you when you step outside. They start to recognize you too. How does that feel to be recognized when you just doing your everyday errands and just running around?
It's crazy. It's really insane because it is one of those things you don't think about. Because for us, we went to work and we did what we loved, and then whatever happened. So it's crazy to think that people would recognize us. We got recognized together while we were filming for our new show. We were like grabbing coffee like one morning, and somebody like, was she working? Did she work at the place?
Yeah, she was the barista at this coffee shop that we went to. And we even got our coffee. And then we
left.
walked out and we were at the street light to go back to our hotel, and she came running out. She's like, "Hi.
Yeah.
Look at you, Caroline."
Everybody loves Breaking Ice. On social media, they go crazy over all the scenes and all the interactions between you two. I think this next show will be the same.
Yeah.
I hope so. We had a lot of fun. Same vibe, same high energy, same passion put into it. A different storyline.
How was like your overall experience just shooting for Breaking the Ice and overall with ReelShort? I know it's changed your life so much. It opened up doors with different brands and different opportunities, but I'd love to know, what was your experience overall just shooting it?
I mean, phenomenal. I mean, every time working with ReelShort is amazing and very professional and just flows really well. I think our entire cast had just a lot of fun, and we all genuinely enjoy each other as people. Mm-hmm. So that really helps like the whole process. And it was just a really fun time. And the boys got to play around.
Yeah.
And do what they want to do.
My whole the first 4 days of shooting it was us at the hockey rink, doing all the hockey scenes. Mm-hmm. And all the guys that were playing the hockey player roles actually played hockey. So I remember we were sitting in the locker room getting dressed.
The locker room.
And I played hockey for 15 years, which a lot of people don't know that. So it felt like I was getting ready, I was just with the guys going out to, play hockey. That's the best part of playing, any sport really.
It felt natural since it was something.
Yeah, it felt it wasn't like we were acting or anything. It was just what's up, boys? We were, just
They were all so cute doing that. They were all out on the rink, and they would be having so much fun and just playing around when the cameras weren't even rolling. And they were just out there playing. And all the girls would be taking our little videos of them wrapped up in our 5 blankets because we were in crop tops in an ice rink. Don't know if anybody noticed that in the show, but it looked really cute, but it was freezing. And we'd be taking videos of them. They were having so much fun.
I think that energy definitely transferred into the series.
Yeah.
Because it was very organic, very just a good storytelling. And I think the energy there was very embodied by what you said was going on set.
Yeah, we had a great, rapport with everyone on set, all the other actors and actresses and the crew and the director, Vivian. We all just meshed together so well, and we all were on the same page about accomplishing the same goal. There was not a lot of lollygagging. And I don't know. Every ReelShort project I ever work on always goes so smoothly and done so professionally.
Well, that's really good to hear. And it's really good to hear also that you had a good time, and also that you got to play a role that was so natural to you. I know that you played hockey, but is there any other sports that you've played?
Yeah, so I played hockey growing up. That was my favorite sport growing up, but I mean, I played a lot of sports, but I played football. I played football in college. That was like my best sport, my sport that I was best at. I really enjoy football. I wrestled, wrestling,
Not so much.
not so much, cutting weight, all that. I wasn't a big fan of that. And then I ran track.
Oh, cool.
Loved running track.
What about you?
Track was like one sport that I was like not that great at, but I had so much fun like at the track meets and stuff. But yeah, I love just playing any sort of sports.
So that role was definitely just natural for you to just be that.
Well, I remember when they sent me the breakdown for it. Yeah, and I was like,
this is me.
This is like
this
me.
is meant to be.
I was like, I don't even have to act in this. I just get to play myself essentially. So
which is so fun.
Yeah, it was so cool. And I literally hit him back. I'm like, you're not gonna find a single person in this town who's better at this role than me. So,
Single person in this town.
And that's why that show has
right.
230 million views.
Yep.
It's really good to hear that you guys have a really positive experience with ReelShort. I want to know, what was your favorite moments on set?
Oh my gosh, so many. I mean, sweet Ellison, who played Haley in Breaking the Ice, I love her with my whole heart. She spent like hours, probably maybe even days. I don't even know how long we were learning that. We were learning this TikTok dance that we ended up posting. And very last day on set, on our lunch break, we went and we filmed this dance that we had been learning for so long. And she was so excited about. And was a really great teacher for. And so that was like probably one of my favorite things, because we would just pull, anytime we had a second, we'd like go to the side and we'd be like, okay. Like learning this little dance. It was like
together. The nostalgia too of like wrapping up such a good set, such a good like acting. Yeah, that was,
it was great. It was really
I love
fun.
TikTok dancing, even though I'm not the best at
we
dancing.
brought summer.
Yeah.
We did some TikTok dances.
Yeah. Nicole did good. She taught me how to do it.
Well. We spent so long learning them.
I know you guys did a lot of videos on TikTok while doing Breaking Ice. Did you guys any like cool comments or any like interesting conversations from fans or on the show?
I mean, my thing is people always just ask me if Ellison's my actual daughter in real life. Like I get that every day to this day. I will constantly get people asking if she's my real life daughter, which honestly, I'm flattered because she's so gorgeous and so perfect. And I feel like secondhand motherly to her. Like I'm like so proud of everything she does.
You guys look like a family.
It's just crazy casting.
Yeah.
But that's, I think, the biggest thing, that the first time somebody asked me that, I was kind of shocked because I was like,
real daughter.
I don't have a 10-year-old. I was like, what?
What about you, Seth? Do you get the same type of comments and the same type of questions?
I get different comments and questions. I would on it to. Okay, to be honest, the most common question I get asked is, are me and Nicole dating in real life?
Yeah,
We're just
Social interactions are insane for Breaking the Ice, and it's so interesting to see how the show has been watched worldwide. There's so many different cities, there's so many fans all over watching you guys. Have you guys ever like interacted with anyone outside of like the United States or any other fans?
Every day I get such wonderful and supportive messages from people all over the world. I know Jakarta in Indonesia, that's where my biggest fan base is located. So shout out to Jakarta. Fun fact actually is that my mom graduated high school from Jakarta.
Wow, so interesting.
Yeah, small world. But also, I know Sao Paulo, Mexico City, United Kingdom, they all are big fans of the show as well. So I appreciate all their love and support.
What about you, Nicole? Is there any fans you want to send a little shout out?
Yeah, well, I mean, same thing. Trying to keep up with all of the messages has been just insane.
It's impossible. You guys are so nice.
We're like so thankful. It's like actually insane. Like trying to keep up, and we do try to. I try to like see and interact as much as I can. I think my biggest fan base and the people who reach out the most are, I mean, I'm from Texas, so a lot of people from San Antonio, a lot of people from Austin. Outside of the US, big in the Philippines and the UK, a lot too, and Brazil. Yeah. So shout out to everybody from all of those cities. It's been insane.
Also, shout out to Egypt. I got a message yesterday from someone from Cairo. And another fun fact, my mom graduated high school from Jakarta, but before she went to high school in Jakarta, she lived in Cairo for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So that was actually really cool to see that kind of come full circle as well. And I really want to visit both of those countries like very like someday, like I really,
Same,
really
yeah.
want to see that side of the world. So
Yeah, I
hopefully
mean-
one day. So
Yeah.
thank you for the support.
Of course. I mean, right now you're being recognized here in LA when you're walking around and when you guys travel. I'm sure you're going to be recognized worldwide soon. And maybe you'll get a chance to meet some of your friends in Jakarta and
That would
outside in
be
the Philippines.
amazing.
I would love that. That
Yeah.
would be so great. So
Love
they've
to
been
get
so
to know.
supportive there. It's, you know, it's the fans are the reason the show has become what it's become. So
Just glad they loved it as much
yeah,
as they loved filming it.
I'm glad, like so blessed and honored that they loved it.
Well, that's a good way to transition into some other questions I had in mind. I really want to get to know a little bit about your personal lives and who you guys are offset. Offset camera
Not the knuckle
personality.
crack.
Let's go.
What is the real Seth and Nicole like? And how is it different from what you play on set and who you are when you come to set?
That's a good question. I mean, I think for me, I always try to find a piece of myself in my roles. I don't know. I don't know how I'm really different. I think I'm just somebody. I'm very high energy. I'm very like to see positive views on the world. I like to spin everything kind of positively, which I guess is a little different than my characters because they are going through so much every day, all the time. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of me. It's kind of me. What was that?
Yeah, I am very different in real life than I am in most of my roles. The hockey one was a little different, but most of the time when I'm playing these, you know, billionaires, they're these very like stoic, like cold kind of like guys for the most part. Each character is like kind of a different shade of that.
What adjectives would you use to describe yourself?
I'm very playful. I'm very silly. I'm very,
Very
goofy.
goofy.
The complete opposite then.
The complete opposite. So sometimes, especially, I'm much better now. But like, I'm still like really new to acting. So I've gotten a lot better at, you know, learning more about, because that one of the great parts about acting is you get to learn about these different, like Nicole was saying, like each role you're playing, that's essentially just like a version of yourself is like what it is. So I'm learning, you know, kind of what the cold stoic version of myself is, because I'm not that in real life, like at all. I'm very warm, so like friendly, like I want to make sure everyone's, you know, comfortable. I never want anyone to like have a bad time around me. And that's why I love shooting with Nicole so much, because she's also like brings such a positive attitude and is so easy to work with. She's upbeat, high energy and everything. So it really plays well with my playful goofiness.
Would you guys say like the roles that you guys play help you kind of like search for who you are? Like you said, you're kind of tapping into those stoic, more like areas of your personality that you kind of usually don't levitate to, or that you don't present as, through those roles that you're playing of more like stoic billionaires.
Yeah, I learn more about myself every time I do, because there's different emotions for sure. Because in real life, we all get into a cycle of kind of, you're the same person, you know, all the time. When you're sad, you kind of go through the same, you know, emotions of sadness and all that sort of things. Unless like a certain specific situation calls for you to be a certain way, that doesn't typically happen too much, because it'll be outside your comfort zone. And
Because
actually,
you channel those feelings that you don't explore on an everyday basis through the different characters and roles that you play on the set.
yeah. Like for example, I'm not a jealous person at all. I'm like the least jealous person ever. I want everyone to do good. I don't ever get jealous of anyone. My character sometimes has to act very jealous and stuff. So it's been fun to kind of learn how to play like a jealous like person and feel those feelings of like real jealousy.
Do you think you have a better understanding of them now that you kind of like acted through them?
Yeah, I
That's
definitely,
really interesting.
Definitely do. But that's like one of the great parts about acting is I've been able to learn, you know, these different, you know, sorts of thoughts and emotions that I normally don't have in real life.
Yeah. And I guess Nicole, since kind of like you're bubbly and you can adapt and kind of like this camouflage type of personality, what would you say would be like a really hard role? What would be like opposite of really what you are?
Because I mean, like Seth was saying, so there's just like certain things that are tough to get to. For me, it's like anger, like that pure, like seeing red anger is just not something
I can see that because it's the opposite of bubbly.
Yeah, it's something I'm not like a comfortable like getting there most of the time in my life. So like as I'm working on roles more, and a lot of these have at least one moment of just like pure anger. So like working on these has been really helpful for that, and seeing different ways of showcasing it and trying to just dig into that and like allowing yourself to kind of feel the range of emotions there.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting because, you know, like you said, you get to kind of channel those emotions and kind of experience yourself in a way that you don't usually experience yourself in. So we have a great idea of who you guys are on set and who you guys are off set. I'd love to know what it's like. What's your dating life like? I know the fans want to know.
Go ahead.
Well, funny you ask that. Hasn't been too spicy as of late because I've been working so much.
Wait, are you both single?
Yes.
Maybe. Why?
Okay.
Why are you asking?
Why?
Asking because we're starting the conversation.
Single's a very broad
the
term,
fans to know.
Rachel.
We'll keep it mysterious. But what is it like? Give your fans a little sneak peek on what it's like dating Seth.
I can be very picky, kind of. Or I'm very, not picky, I'm very like particular.
So you're picky but not jealous.
Not jealous.
Okay.
But I just don't like a lot of drama and stuff. So really don't enjoy having drama.
Having 7 girls show up to a date.
I don't enjoy showing up to a date and having their 7 friends come and interrogate me. It's a bit dramatic. So I worry about things like that. But I don't know. It's something about this time of year in particular that I kind of
reevaluate.
I like
your pickiness.
having.
It's the relationship.
I like having.
It's the nostalgia.
I like having, someone around.
Yeah.
It's nice. I like having
Over the
someone to keep me
holidays.
company.
And the traditions.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the cute stuff.
But
We'll keep
the
the drama.
dating life. Yeah, the dating life. It's fun.
We'll keep the drama on set. How about that?
Yes.
On set.
Because our jobs are very dramatic.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What about you, Nicole?
Yeah, I mean, kind of similar in the sense that I'm very picky also, and I feel like we don't have very much time to date. So we barely have time to like see our friends and family who are the people who've been there before we started actively working in our career. So if you're going to spend what little free time you have with somebody, I feel like it's just like, you just have to be like specific about who it's going to be. So, and that's.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're a little
leave
picky
room
too.
for many dates.
So you're being
With
a little
many
picky
people.
too right now with your dating, and you're focusing more on your career.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very much like,
Go with the flow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Not just running around dating a bunch of a lot of my friends will have full rosters of people.
How?
I don't know how people do that.
Because usually, like with me, I have a type,
Yeah, fair.
and sometimes it's a little hard to find that type. I mean, what's your type?
It's just more about like who I like, if I click with somebody and if somebody fits into my like friends and family, because I feel like I don't know,
you focus more on like the connection.
Yeah.
rather than the type.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, looking at like past exes and everything, they're all very different, but they do all
Yeah. So
have that.
what's that type? Like what is that?
Someone who can like hold their own at social events, because that's a big part of our jobs is going to events. And so it needs to be somebody who can be there for that and who can kind of hold their own in that regard. And somebody who's like kind, and just like a kind heart is a big part of what I look for.
I need someone that can keep up with the fun.
Yeah, can keep up with the fun and who can also be like a little grounded at the same time.
So it's a good balance. That's a good balance.
Yeah.
What about you, Seth?
I like really sweet girls. I'm like very sweet, adorable girl. I don't like, because I
No
can
mean
get
girls.
no mean girls. I have no time for that mean girl stuff. I hate being involved in like drama, which there's always so much drama. Like, oh my gosh. All right.
What's a very sweet girl? Like, what's the sweetest thing a girl has done for you or said?
Got him a
Brought me a
thermal
Christmas
massage
present,
gun.
and they brought me a massage gun because they know my back gets sore on set from standing.
Intentional gifting.
Intentional gifting. No, it's like the little things, like when I'm like not expecting it. I don't know. There's just like a sweetness and an aura about certain girls that I really like. And then there's some girls that are very dramatic, or not even dramatic, but they just like
Saying dramatic so much.
Yeah, they're mean girls, kind of, I guess, in a sense. And there's always something wrong, and they're always like in a fight with one of their friends, or like blah blah blah.
What's a mean girl to you? Like, can we define that?
Someone who red flag. If you're always are in beef with one of your friends. That's such a red flag,
everybody.
And,
If you're
and it is
beefing
so
with
common.
your friend all the time,
Oh
it's
my
a red
gosh.
flag for Seth Edeen.
Yeah, it is so common that I will be talking to a girl and she'll like mention, it'll be like, when I first meet them, like, oh yeah, this is my friend. And then 5 minutes later, like, yeah, I hate that, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope, I'm done. Like, I'm not doing that. So I would be like very hard line about that. So, because I don't want that being brought into my life, because if I'm going to date someone, their life becomes your life and vice versa. Yeah. So, well, also what you said, like being somewhat independent and, you know, like we go to events and stuff, like I don't want to be like babysitting someone, I guess, or whatever. Like I like someone who's very outgoing, likes to go out and, you know, talk to people. And if I have to leave for like 10 minutes or whatever, like they're going to be like fine and stuff. So that's also very important. But
I mean, you have to for what you guys do in your careers, you know, just events and being able to socialize and network. I mean, I can see a little bit of why, even just talking to you guys, like the things that you guys like and your types. I want to know, like, what are your pet peeves when dating?
Drama for him, clearly.
Drama. We know he doesn't like drama.
My biggest pet peeve in the world with dating is somebody who doesn't try to get to know the important people in my life, which does happen. You know, there are some people who just live their own lives and don't try to just get to know anything about
or like incorporate themselves with your daily life.
My
or like your
roommate,
even
my best friend.
Family.
Just like have a conversation with my parents. Talk to my dad. That's a big pet peeve of mine is people who just don't try to get to know important people to me. Because I'm like, if they're important to me,
because it's your community and you want to bring that person into your community. I mean, that's something that would definitely bother me too.
That's number one.
Seth, I know it's drama, but what else? What are your pet peeves?
One of my pet peeves, someone who has no ambition in life. So who doesn't really have like a goal or anything to really like want to do, like no passions, like no real like hobbies or anything like that. Because I have like a handful of things that I love and I always do them. And like, without a doubt, like no matter things are going good and bad in my career or whatever, like I always have these passions that I can always fall back on and I love doing them. So I've had dating experiences where they don't have that. And I'm like, do something. Like, I want you to have something to be passionate about, because I think and I don't even care what it is. If you're passionate about knitting, like it's always so cool when you see someone like doing something they really love or they're really passionate about.
Watching someone's own is the best. Yes.
Like for instance, Nicole loves acting, talking about acting, the whole craft of acting. So watching her like light up when she talks about anything acting related is like,
that's so sweet.
So cool.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful to see someone like passionate about something.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what it is. It's just that passion, that human emotion is like beautiful to witness.
Yeah.
So ReelShort is all about romance. I want to know, what's romance like on set? Is there romance or?
So sometimes, not gonna name names,
It gets spicy.
but it gets spicy. I know way too many stories of people that can't quite separate work and personal life like that. I know one person in particular was dating on the show called, and like it started off good, and then by the end of it, the whole show just went so bad. And this guy was literally, not even the girl, the guy was like crying, literally crying because had to kiss someone else on the set. And he was like having a full like breakdown.
Wow.
Yeah.
So jealousy.
And it happened that quick. Like it was like day one, I think by like day 4 or whatever, like so allegedly were really like canoodling. And
is it easy to fall like in love with your like co-star or your lead in the show?
Most of the time, when you're at work, you know you're at work, and so it's like you have, at least for me, I don't know, like you have your people in a box of you're at work and you kind of leave that there.
Mm-hmm.
I think where it gets messy for a lot of people is when you hang out like in real life.
Mm.
And then that's kind of where I feel like boundaries can start to cross, because it's not like this is just at work versus.
Because in the acting world, I do see a lot of like people that work together on set, they end up dating, and the fans are always so interested in knowing if it's true or if it's acting, which is also like part of the interestingness of it. But on set, you guys have experienced that it becomes a little difficult to separate, and that there's people that sometimes will get very emotional about certain things that just require
that
acting,
it's just
like
the job,
a kiss or something like that.
I think it's really, really, especially for these vertical mobisode series, like I think it's so important to be able to differentiate when you're at work and when you're not. Because like Seth was saying, it can get messy if you can't differentiate.
And it'll derail your entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep the romance. And I feel like our shows are so romantic that, you know, it's kind of hard to separate those emotions that you're feeling while you're acting and you're on set, whether it's a kiss or a sweet hug. And then, as you said, Nicole, it probably will get worse if you hang out after and, you know, you can't separate that personal and work life.
That's where it gets messy sometimes, because my like number one thing I always want to make sure is my chemistry with the other lead actress is like great.
Yeah.
So I will go to crazy lengths to make sure, because I want my shows.
Good standing.
Yeah, we want our shows to do well.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes like it's happened to me earlier in my career where like on set I was like, okay, and then I would hang out with them off set. I'm like, wait, like some of these feelings are kind of like
transferring over
a little bit. I'm like, oh,
and then you're like, is this real?
And then you're like, wait, is this real?
Is this
am I like,
actually what I'm feeling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was definitely like, it took a while. I mean, every chemistry is different with every person, but I can definitely think of a couple instances where I found like thinking to myself, like, is this like, oh my God.
Is this
I kind of think I was like, I don't think
Yeah.
I'm acting anymore. Like, I think I'm like really like getting feelings for this person.
And I guess
so
that brings up a question. I mean, if you're dating on set and you're like a couple on set, how do you transfer that to like personal life? Like, do you start from step one after you guys already kissed in a scene or held hands? Are you now shy to hold hands again? How does that translate?
I actually don't know.
Have you ever dated your co-star or like anyone that you were on a show with?
I've not like co-star, but somebody that I met on set became just good friends with. And then just one of those things where as we were hanging out one day was like, whoa, this is a little different. Like, this doesn't feel like friendship anymore.
Yeah.
But then it was a matter of both actors, when do we have time to see each other?
Yeah.
So it you know, timeline wise, I never really got a chance to like explore it, figure it out.
I've had one instance where I started dating someone that I was on set with, and that was when I was very new to this game, and learned a valuable lesson.
And
Don't take your work home with you in that way, because it can get messy. And especially like in this industry, like, I don't know, it was just a big lesson that I learned for sure, because this is what these shows are. There's a lot of romantic things that get involved. So you have to really know and understand that going into it. And when you're first new to it, it can be kind of difficult to separate. Yeah. So.
Well, thanks so much, Seth and Nicole, for coming today and telling us a little bit more of the new projects that you guys have in store and about your personal lives. We really loved having you guys. But before you guys go, we have a little tradition here at ReelTalk, and I would love for you guys to take a Polaroid.
Let me
You know,
lipstick up.